Hi everybody, hope you all are good. आपने कहा हमें चाहिए, मैंने कहा okay ये लीजिए. So here I am back with one more Aeon RC. I hope you all are following this series. And for those of you who are still stuck at the moderate level, please go to that RC 100 series, which is there on the same channel. उसको आप देख लो, उसमें से at least 25 to 30 RCs you need to watch. Then you'll be ready to graduate to this level. So Aeon RCs are Aeon RCs. मतलब इनका level ही अलग होता है. So what I do is I cherry pick one essay, a protracted essay from Aeon. I get it trimmed by giving it to my AI assistant, of course. And I make sure that the language doesn't get changed to sound like machine language. So, okay, once the passage is trimmed, I craft 4 questions on that. First, I check the zones where CAT is likely to give you questions. Okay, and then I craft these questions. I try to frame options जो कि मतलब CAT pattern पे based हो. Process of elimination traps are there, but then I make sure that there aren't too many traps. फिर क्या होगा कि while solving you'll be just able to easily eliminate अगर बहुत ज्यादा traps होंगे. That's why I take care of these things. So anyway, this is the finished product, and I sincerely hope you're going to like this. So the topic for today is AI and the related language matlab, if you start reading on AI, there'll be like a plethora of topics. Okay, it can be AI and ethics, AI and language, AI and what it can do for us, AI and daily life as a. So today it is something on language. Words. Strong resistance to AI among writers. Oh, there are many and many people who are like very resistant to AI. So this is what this author is going to examine. Let me take you over to this. So how long is the passage? We are going to quickly check the size. That's 5 paragraphs. This is about what, roughly 550, 600 words, a typical CAT passage. Okay, and then what happens? Okay, so here it starts with since AI. First, I'm going to check and locate the hero of the passage. Not the main idea, but just the hero. Since AI went mainstream, it has done double duty as this. Okay. Strong resistance to AI is understandable, but it obscures. Okay. So people are resistant to this. Okay, fine. Large language models do not think, feel, or experience the world they calculate. Okay. Every new information has triggered a crisis of this kind, some crisis, panic. Okay. And then the last para says literature is and has always been an exercise in translation. I understand this is something to do with AI, language, literature, some crisis, right? I'm not yet sure about the main idea, but that's okay. When you're reading your passage, you can locate the main idea. Quickly, I'm going to check the question stems because that is what I generally do. First, the passage assessment, abhi humne jo kiya, question stems, and then go back and do my organized reading or active reading, quick reading, whatever you want to call it. ठीक है? How does the author use the historical references to Socrates' Phaedrus and Gutenberg's printing press to validate his primary hypothesis regarding this? Do not get confused by the question. Simple language mein, you have to go to this zone. This is a specific question. Okay? Specific info question, right? CAT gives this kind of questions. How does the author use this to validate his this? वहां जाएंगे specific है, relax. What can be inferred about the author's perspective on human literary originality through his reference to frameworks like the hero's journey? Oh, this is again somewhere specific, somewhere mentioned hero's journey. I need to go there. All right, and this is an inference question. Characterizes the author's tone. Oh, nice. Toward the advent of generative, okay, in literature. Tone question, I would love to start with this. Question number 4. What does the author imply? Again, this is an inference question about public discourse surrounding AI by using the phrase this. So this is a specific phrase question or a specific sentence question जो होता है ना, specific sentence inference. देखना आप CAT में बहुत आते हैं ऐसे questions. So what CAT does is it gives you a phrase or like a proper sentence from the passage and then asks you to infer things from there. A very nice set of questions. Okay, looks like we can easily handle all 4. Chaliye, let's deep dive and let's see what we can come up with. Chalo. Since AI went mainstream, first para hai, I'm going to read a little carefully. It has done double duty as a political personality test. एक होता है mainstream, एक होता है stay at the margins. तो ये it went mainstream, double duty as a political personality test. What is that test? The colon is there. 2 dots, that means it's an important point where the author is explaining something. So what is the political personality test? Tell me what you think about AI and I will tell you who you are. Okay. So if I say I hate AI, I will be told who I am, what my character is like, what my nature is, I mean, my temperament. Those worried about climate change focus on energy consumption, denounce, okay, see it as the ultimate, okay, tending toward this, okay, okay. This is just an example of this political personality. So I understand in the first para, he's talking about judging a political personality and giving these examples. Now, people in arts and culture have felt particularly threatened because the technology seems to be coming for the things they cherish most. What do they cherish most? The creative use of images. Oh, they thought only humans can be creative, innately creative. In response, writers have largely opted for resistance. Okay. Defending the genuine creativity. Oh, AI ki creativity doesn't hold a candle to human creativity, which is completely genuine. Against the machines. Let's call this the creative resistance. Oh, beautiful first paragraph. Pause after this for like 5-6 seconds. Sum it up. He talks about resistance, how people are becoming resistant towards AI. Why? Because they feel AI is going to snatch away their USP, right? And then yahan pe isne political personality test and he talks about these examples. Done. Good enough. Now we are going to skim a little bit. All right. Next para will obviously talk about the resistance in detail. है ना? This strong resistance to AI is understandable, but it obscures, oh, it hides what we share with the machines. What do we share with the machines? Language. For centuries held a monopoly. Okay, now I'm skimming. Language, okay, okay, okay. We defined, all right, fine, generative AI. Okay, I'm going to slow down here. Don't we all know, with the help of external reading, that humans always thought that language is only their domain? No other creature has language. Right? So here he says generative AI shatters this assumption by demonstrating that the raw material of literature, what? Words, syntax, tropes, ye can be completely detached and still produce meaning. Zaruri nahi hai, it has to be produced by humans. It can still have meaning. Got it? So this para is talking about the resistance and how humans and AI share language. Done. With a little bit of skimming, we understand this. Now I'm going to skim more. But the first line is always important. Large language models do not think, feel, or experience the world. So what do? They calculate probability. I really am not going to get into it. Why? Because he says they calculate probability. Okay, hoga. Skim kar lo na. They do not think, feel, experience. To hame bhi pata hai. Language models. Repositories, okay, okay, AI generates, okay, compelling, all right, creative resistance tries to dismiss, okay, ये तो बेकार वर्क है बोल करके, जैसे आप में से कई लोग जेमिनाई, चैट जीपीटी, क्लॉड, इनका वर्क को आप क्रिटिसाइज करते हो, ओ ये क्या है, तो स्लॉपी वर्क, राइट? बट यू शुड नो हाउ टू टेम योर एआई, है ना? So labeling, all right, okay, fine, but I slow down here. This dismissal misses a deeper, more unsettling truth. Okay, what is the truth? I really need to read that. I hope you're able to follow what I'm doing, where I'm putting my car in the first gear and where in the fourth and fifth gear. Okay, so what is the unsettling truth? Language has an automated this. Okay. We are resisting AI because we say you cannot feel, you cannot think, and all. Okay. And we have language as our unique thing. But he says here this dismissal misses a more unsettling truth, that language has algorithmic quality built into it. The same algorithms that we are trying to avoid. When we write, we too rely, yes, actually, dictionaries. We dig into dictionaries. We dig into a lot of idioms. Okay. When an author constructs a narrative, okay, like the hero's journey or standard, they are drawing from this. When writers, authors, when they dig into some repository, they are doing this. They are sharing a cultural database. And hero's journey is connected to a question. Keep that in mind. I'm going to come back for like deeper reading. Done. So this para talks about what machines do. They calculate probability, and then the creative resistance tries to dismiss this by labeling it bekar kaam. But yahan se this is an important point, and then here he talks about hero's journey. That's enough. Every new information technology has triggered a crisis of this kind. Crisis of what kind? Go back here. Okay, this crisis. Panic about what it means to be human. Okay. Then he talks about Phaedrus and all. I'm not reading this para. Gutenberg's this. Okay, okay, fine, fine. Each historical shift forced us to redefine the boundaries of this. Okay, got it. Obviously, Gutenberg and Socrates didn't live in the same era. So, यहाँ पे वही बोल रहा है, historical shift forced us to redefine. Got it? The last para. Literature is and has always been an exercise in translation. So, yeah, it has been translated, right? We translate our messy non-verbal thoughts, okay, okay, all right, that we did not invent. Yes, structures we did not invent. We translate into that. So that is what? That is based on algorithms. Now we are adding another layer of translation from human language to machine and back again. The history of literature is the history of humans adapting to new this. Now, this is very important because this is the last two lines wala portion. Generally, a question is set on this portion. Generally. First para, last para. Generally a question pocket. So let's check this. Rather than a replacement of the human mind, this new wordsmith might just be the latest instrument through which our old obsession with text continues to mutate. So he says in this para and especially in these two lines that humans have been adapting to new externalizations, to new ways how to present their speech, how to kind of stabilize their speech, how to present it with what structure. ये कह रहा है. Rather than a replacement of the human mind, this new wordsmith is what? What is he discussing? AI ka language might just be the latest instrument through which. So maybe this machine is not looking at replacing the human mind. Why are you panicking, everybody? Maybe this is just the latest instrument through which humans will again adapt, or humans will again present their messy thoughts to the world, right? So the tone of the author is positive. Is it praising somebody? No. Criticizing? No. Is he neutral? Yes, he is neutral. He's being a little analytical in the sense he's comparing human language, AI language, and then in the end he's trying to come up with some kind of a conclusion that says that you don't need to panic, humans. Maybe this is just another way in which you can present your ideas to the world, right? Main idea is clear. Main idea is what? It's not necessary to come up with a sentence, dudes. Main idea is AI, language, humans getting worried, okay? But this is maybe one way how humans present themselves, present their thoughts, right? So the last bit of the passage should be there in your main idea. इतने rough words अगर आपने निकाल लिए ना main idea के, you are good. All right. Now, I know where my points are. Hero's journey, Phaedrus, Gutenberg, ये सारी चीजें पता है. I would love to start with this. Own question, main idea question. यहाँ लिख दे रही हूँ मैं आपके लिए main idea. Own specific info questions. These three are my favorites. But solving a tone question depends completely on your idea of these words. If you don't know the meanings, don't even dream of solving this question. Okay. Which of the following characterizes the author's tone toward the advent of generative artificial intelligence in literature? Advent is beginning of this. Okay. Let's just check the words quickly, then go back. Dispassionate and fatalistic. Fatalistic is generally an extreme tone. Fatalistic is leaving it to fate. Dispassionate is not connected. I mean, not feeling for something. Dispassionate is detached. Aisa. Okay, not criticizing, but then detached. I don't like this because he has been writing so much. So if he's dispassionate, why would he write? Fatalistic, leaving everything, Bhagwan bharose. No. Critical yet cautiously optimistic. Okay. Critical, maybe I'll just keep it. Measured and contextualizing. ये दोनों balance लग रहे हैं मुझे. Polemical and dismissive. This is extreme. Dismissive is हटा सावन की घटा ऐसा. I don't want to even talk about this. I don't care about this ऐसा. Polemical, fighting, debating, arguing completely. This is eliminated, right? So B and C. Between B and C, what do you do? Advent of generative AI in literature. Cautiously optimistic, critical, बुराई कर रहा है क्या? Still he is a little optimistic, measured, balanced, and comparing things and analyzing, contextualizing, connecting it with the scenario. Okay, so advent of generative this in literature. Obviously, it's connected with the whole passage. Still, I'll take you to some zones जहां से आपको ना tone वो होगा. देखो यहाँ पहले तो advent of this in literature. ये literature is this. Okay, so AI. Overall tone of the passage is taken from the last 4-5 lines. Now, this question is connected with the overall tone, overall thing. Literature, may AI, right? Advent. So we are adding another layer. Okay, history of literature, adapting to a new externalizations rather than this. Okay, okay. Is it critical? Might just be the latest instrument. Is he cautiously optimistic? Cautiously tab hoga when he is cautioning you against something. It can be something like, a medicine that has come on the market and the author is saying, okay, this medicine can be our answer to this particular disease, but we have to be a little careful about the side effects. Got it? Or maybe isme AI language mein, he could have said, but we need to be careful about the biases, the inherent biases that can be there. But language ka ye to repository ki baat kar raha hai. Why would he talk about biases here? है ना? So here he is not being any of those things. We go back to this. So critical, yet cautiously optimistic. Advent of generative AI. Critical kahan hai? वो तो कह रहा है it might be another way. है ना? So this is eliminated. C is good as your answer. Measured ka matlab balanced, and he is assessing. Okay. Contextualizing, connecting with the scenario, connecting with what is there, connecting with what was there. ये हो गया. So this is the best one. Elimination खेला करो. ठीक है? Now, which one would I take up next? Let's do hero's journey. Author's perspective on human literary originality through his reference to frameworks like this. What do I need to do for this? Quickly go back and check that paragraph. Hero's journey wala zone, as well as the introductory line. इसके लिए 2 lines up, 2 lines down, and introductory line. Read with me, and then we go back and eliminate. Okay. Large language models do not think in this, they calculate probability. Okay. They look at vast repositories. Fine. Literature and determine which word is most likely. The result is often compelling. So here he's contrasting large language models with AI generated something. Got it? He's showing the comparison. Then he says, yahan se, but this dismissal misses this. Language has an automated algorithmic quality built into it. Even it is not coming from Chand. It is not something so original that it is human-like. ऐसा नहीं है. ये कह रहा है language also depends on this. When we write, we depend on a repository of this. When an author constructs a narrative, maybe an essay, a story using predictable frameworks like the hero's journey or standard genre conventions, what does he do? They are drawing from a shared cultural database, much like a predictive text engine. He is also drawing from somewhere, right? So, itna humne padh liya. Let's go to this and just eliminate. The reliance of human creators on established genre conventions demonstrates that human writing possesses a formulaic, algorithmic, structured substrate similar to algorithmic output. This is what he has said. This is a rephrased version of what's given there. Established genre conventions. The reliance, sorry, गले में खिच खिच. The reliance of human creators on this, बोला है वहां पर, right? Demonstrates what? That even language has human writing, possesses formulaic, something similar to the algorithmic, correct? So I'll keep this. Human writers often default to predictable narrative frameworks like the hero's journey because they lack the conceptual capability. Now, ये देख रहे हो? ये. Because तो देखते ही ना, try to understand if there is a cause-effect का trap. They default to predictable this because they don't have the capability. They lack the computational capability to calculate superior combinations. It's not given there, eliminated. Their capability has not been doubted. The popularity of standard genre conventions proves that literary value is determined by a culture's collective database rather than an individual author's stylistic flair. This option shows you the superiority of collective database rather than superiority to an author's single author ka flair, single author ka capability. But this is not there. The paragraph doesn't show us this. Ki culture's collective database, literary value is determined by what? Culture's collective database. He does say that it is kind of a repository and writers dig into it. But then the para doesn't say that the value, the literary value is decided by this and not by this. So in a way, we are doubting the individual author's stylistic capability over here. Again, this is not right. Correct. Structural narrative models serve as a defense mechanism used by this to distinguish human storytelling from machine probability. Structural narrative models, इसने ये बोला है hero's journey वाला, why? And what can be inferred about his perspective? So structural narrative models serve as a defense mechanism used by the creative resistance. We don't want AI, okay, to distinguish this from machine probability. No, this is completely out of context, right? The only one that is a rephrased version of what's given there is A. Hope you agree with me. All right. Now, let's go to this. Phaedrus, Socrates, Phaedrus and Gutenberg's printing press. Question क्या कह रहा है? That's very important. Author used the historical references to this. History है, हमें भी पता है. To validate his primary hypothesis regarding modern AI. Simple language में, why is the author giving these examples? I'll take you back. और CAT बहुत ज्यादा ये वाला क्वेश्चन देता है. Why does the author refer to this? Why does the author give this example? Okay, let's go here. Every new information technology has triggered a crisis, a panic about what it means. Phaedrus, in the Phaedrus, Socrates famously objected to the invention of this. Then writing came. Socrates objected to it. He said, no, that will reduce our capability to think and memorize. It would destroy human memory and turn active thinkers into this. Then, centuries later, printing press came. पहले तो writing आई तो भी problem. When printing press came, what happened? Horror by critics who feared that a flood of mechanically produced books, लोगों का mind corrupt हो जाएगा and sacred authority, handwritten script, manuscripts की तो value खत्म हो गई. So now we have AI and we are like horror stricken. What will happen to our children? Long back when we were in school, we used to write essays with हमारे दो प्यारे प्यारे हाथ. Now our children are not able to write anything. But the world is changing. You want to stick to the old world or you want to move on with the flow? What do you want to do? So by giving these examples, he's simply showing us that there have been changes, right? Each historical shift, this is the crux of the para. Each historical shift forced us to redefine this. Correct? Done. Now we go to this. So, by demonstrating that contemporary anxieties about AI are functionally identical to historical overreactions that could not alter. Bye karke ye hai. How does the author use this to validate? Means to support his hypothesis about AI. How does he use it? सबसे पहले ना इतना बड़े बड़े sentences पढ़ने के बदले try to look for the keywords. Redefine, shift, ऐसा करके you can save time. All right. Contemporary anxieties, okay, alter, अभी समझते हैं आके वापस. Human intellect suffered a degradation, okay, major shift, okay, arguing that this storage, okay. Very clearly, here there is shift. So this is just to save some precious seconds. You can read all of them and then eliminate. I'm not saying that you have to mark this as the answer. But if I see some keywords over here, I'm going to try to prove this from the para. And then you can do the other elimination. By establishing that every major shift in information technology, IT, okay, technology, induces a structural panic. This is what he has said in the first line, that ultimately forces humanity to renegotiate the boundaries of this renegotiate the boundaries. अब ये negotiation bargaining वाला नहीं है. Renegotiate the boundaries means alter the boundaries of artistic agency. Agency is individual, like selfhood. So here he says, forced us to redefine the boundaries of human intellect and expression. If I try to prove that, it is definitely being proved as a rephrased version. So C is good. Now I'll show you the elimination. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको अगर आंसर मिल गया तो आप एलिमिनेशन खेलते ही बैठो. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि rephrased version आपको दिखता है. By demonstrating that contemporary anxieties about AI are functionally identical to historical overreactions. Modern anxieties are functionally identical to historical overreactions that were there that could not alter the trajectory of this. Could not alter? Isn't this opposite of what's given there? He says clearly, every era forced us to shift human ka intellect, how to define human intellect, right? So this is eliminated. By illustrating that the human intellect has historically suffered a degradation in memory and authority whenever a new communication medium was introduced. Degradation in memory and authority? No, we have just pushed the frontiers. We have redefined the boundaries, that's it. Eliminated. By arguing that the transition from internal cognitive storage to external mechanical production, cyclical law of determinism. This word is a clear trap. Determinism is what? Cause and effect. Everything is decided. The paragraph doesn't give you that tone. Determinism. ये तो decided है. Some change will come and then this will change. This will come. होके रहेगा. ऐसा types. This is, even if you're left with C and D, try to prove one of the two. Take C, go back and prove. C is very clearly a rephrased version of that. Right? So C is good. Clear? एक क्वेश्चन बच गया हमारा. This one. Again, this should be good. Political personality test. What does the author imply, or what can we infer about public discourse surrounding this? First para we remember. Okay. So, quickly go back and check again. 5 seconds लगेंगे. ठीक है? Since AI, okay, political, okay, you tell me. What you think of AI, I will tell you, and then these examples एक बार देख लो. All right. Arts and culture, okay. We have felt panicky. Done. So, this one, yeah. So what does he imply about this? Let's read. Public understanding of AI is fragmented because people lack a unified technical framework to evaluate machine learning objectively. Public understanding of AI is fragmented. Is it fragmented? Because people lack a unified technical framework. Is the paragraph saying that we need a unified technical framework to evaluate this objectively? No. I think this is pretty out of scope. Debates about AI are rarely about the technology itself, but are rather ideological projections of pre-existing societal and individual anxieties. Okay, ये balanced इसलिए लग रहा है मुझे because ideological बोला है, so I'm just going to hang on to this. Okay, political affiliations, I'm going to hang on to this. The rapid mainstreaming of AI has triggered various groups to systematically realign their core political agendas to address technological disruption. Are they trying to address technological disruption? Not at all. So this is eliminated and I'm left with B and C. Now you know what I'll do? As the next step, I'll check the examples that are given. Those worried about climate change focus on consumption. Oh, so I'm a climate activist. So I'm like, no, AI is doing this, energy consumption, AI run करने के लिए कितना वो लग रहा है ऐसा. Those who denounce late capitalism see it as the ultimate example of corporate monopoly. AI, we connect with this. Those tending toward doom, the end of the world is coming, see large language models as riders of the apocalypse. So अपने अपने हिसाब से, अपने अपने ideology के हिसाब से, we understand AI, or we kind of connect with AI, right? This is what he says. So between B and C, look for the difference. पहले, debates about AI are rarely about the technology itself. Rarely देखते हैं ना, कुछ लोग निकल लेंगे, ये तो extreme word है. No, but there, this is what he's saying, that it's not technology. It's not because of the technology. People have been arguing, but it's not the technology. You tell me what you think, and I'll tell you who you are. Who you are बोले तो डोसा पसंद, इडली पसंद, ये नहीं interest है उसे. Who you are means your ideology, your political ideology, your, climates related ideology or whatever. So technology itself, but are rather ideological. This is good. Projections. प्रोजेक्शंस उसी को बोलते हैं ना. व्हाट एम आई, वो प्रोजेक्ट होगा, वो प्रेजेंट होगा of pre-existing societal and individual anxieties. If you worry about climate, if you worry about this, if you worry about doom, ये है. So this looks good. It is a rephrased version. Prove करने चले तो ये prove हो जा रहा है. Political affiliations determine whether an individual will perceive generative AI as an economic opportunity or an existential threat. These two options are actually close, but the difference is what? The difference here is ideological, and here he's saying political affiliation जिसका जैसा है determine whether an individual will perceive this. ठीक है, मेरा affiliation जैसा है, right? That will determine whether I will perceive generative AI as an economic opportunity or an existential threat. Very close. But then the difference between the two is, this is connecting it with only economic opportunity. Do you see this? Ye hai difference. Let me take another color and show you. Ye, and ye. This is the difference that catches my eye. Pre-existing societal and individual anxieties, सब कुछ को cover करेगा, right? ये है economic opportunity or a threat. So this makes it a little narrow. So I will eliminate C, and B is good to go. I hope all the 4 explanations are clear. Hope you understood the process of elimination. Hope you liked the set of questions. Keep learning, guys. I'll be back with more. Take care.